Are we connected to YouTube yet? Oh, I don't have the YouTube chat open. Hold on. Hello. We're connected. What's up? Thanks for joining, everyone. This will be a short episode, I believe, because in about 45 minutes I have to leave and go to an October festival. What are we working on today? It's the same Welephant application in front of us. The GitHub, here's the GitHub, it's open source, Vanderveer/Welephant. This is a white elephant gift exchange party planning tool, and you can click the Wikipedia page to learn more about what that means. But basically it's to help plan gift exchanges anonymously. So I can build a wish list. You can look at my wish list and get me a present, but I don't know that you're the one getting me the present. So we have this basic version, welephantforsale.app. And my mom created a wish list. So previously I created this wish list, I put this stuff on here. I'm logged in as myself, and then my mom logged in and made a wish list. But one thing I noticed is that my items seem to be showing up on her wish list. Now, according to her, I texted her and she said that my items don't show up on her wish list. So I'm suspicious that items on this wish list is just the logged in person's wish list rather than the wish list ID, which is what it should be. So basically we might have our first bug. Not to get too excited, but I'm kind of stoked that we have a bug based on real user, like a real user using it. Also, a couple quick announcements. One, I am getting the new iPhone, so it will have widescreen, so you'll be able to see a wider screen, higher quality here pretty soon if you're on TikTok. Stay tuned for that. That should happen in the next week or two. Also, I want to shout out a couple people. First of all is Railway. So Railway released config as code, which I Googled Railway config as code, and there isn't like good documentation on it. But basically it's this is Railway. And they're like a competitor to Vercel. They're an infrastructure as a service platform targeting like smaller projects and hobbyists and small businesses. I thought about switching over there. If you've watched the series of streams, then you know that one of the pain points with the current implementation is supabase pauses your database after a couple weeks of inactivity. So I wanted an always-on alternative. So I looked at PlanetScale and I looked at Railway, places that I've looked at in the past, but you know, these places are always getting better. So I wanted to do kind of a fresh check. And my conclusion is that supabase is still the winner. But I wanted to shout out Railway, and because I'm getting a new iPhone and I might have to delete this game, I wanted to shout out this game, Beyond Another Eden. I swear, I've sunk so many hours into this game. I played on iPhone. And so hopefully it will transfer over and I'll continue to play it. But in case it doesn't transfer over and I just never play it again, I want to go ahead and give them credit. This has been incredibly fun. I downloaded this as well as Octopath for mobile. And I literally have never played Octopath for mobile because I just got stuck on this one. It was so fun. Cool. So with that, we can start to work on the... Oh, and I'm getting out of crypto, by the way. I'm selling out my crypto. Not that, I guess y'all don't really care about my investment decisions, but just FYI. Cool, so we can start working on Welephant, and let's try and tackle this bug first. And keeping in mind that we are not going to switch database providers anymore. Oh, why supabase? So let's look at supabase and Vercel and Railway, the pricing specifically. So we're already on supabase, and then do I want to switch? So free tier, $0 a month, I get a database that works for me. The problem is that free projects are paused after a week of inactivity. So literally my family wants to use this as a Christmas tool. And so I'm just telling everyone, like, make sure that there's not a week of inactivity basically, or they'll have to like text me and I'll spin it back up. Alternatively, $25 a month is still a great deal for a production application. and you get a bunch of like bells and whistles. I don't necessarily need them, but they're really cool, especially social OAuth providers, if you're into that. But the main thing for me is no project pausing. 25 bucks a month is a great deal for a Postgres database. We could look at PlanetScale, keeping in mind that PlanetScale is going to be MySQL, so I already don't like MySQL. They have an always-on free tier, which is arguably like better. It's an always-on free tier. Hello? But it's MySQL, and Prisma in the past has not played well with PlanetScale. They keep saying it's like working great now, so consider PlanetScale. Once you start doing paid tier, here's something interesting. 29 bucks a month, a little bit more than the supabase choice, but you get 2 production branches. In my mental model, this means you can support 2 applications if you want. So it's like 15 bucks an application, which is better than 25 bucks an application. If you have the very unique use case of dealing with 2 production applications. As soon as you want to go to 3, now you're all the way at $600, which is like, what? So that's like kind of weird in my book. I mean, I guess you could just set up a new email, like a new separate account for your third app. I'm not really sure why they do that. I think it's the bells and whistles over here, data branching. I'm a little bit confused by this because I thought like data branching was like one of the cool reasons you use PlanetScale, but like it seems to kick in once you get to here and not earlier. I don't know. Maybe PlanetScale is super awesome, but I'm just not. The value prop is not so amazing that I want to switch over. If the free tier was like, if I was convinced that the free tier worked smoothly for Prisma, then I might be into it, and I'll do more proofs of concept next year. But at this moment, I'm thinking just like logging in once a week until Christmas is not a big deal. That's kind of my mental model. And then let's look at, that's my line of thought. And lastly, let's look at PlanetScale, supabase, and Railway. Railway is like $3 bucks a month, basically. So they have a free tier, and the way it works is you get $5 or 500 hours of usage. For an always-on database, you're not going to. It's going to be more than Supabase's 1 week. It's going to be less than all month, because like 24 hours a day, you know, like 30 days a month. That's like over 700 hours. So you're not going to make it that far. Garbage Freeman, what's up? Oh, we got a follow. Ben Claire, thanks for the follow. Hey, by the way, you can check out Twitch or YouTube, same username, and see the full screen. So yeah, this will get you like, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks before it pauses. But then with Supabase, you can just immediately unpause. Here, you have to wait till the following month. I think it's much better at their developer tier, which is like an always-on option, and it's less than 30 bucks. So in Supabase, PlanetScale, you're looking at 25, 30 bucks for always-on. Here, you get this cool like price estimation tool, and so let's see resource-based, and then you can see the price varies. $7 bucks a month for the base CPU. What if I want Postgres? Now it's $8.10 a month. What if I want Postgres and MySQL instances running on my virtual machine? Then it's $12.78. Take away Postgres, MySQL only. You see, MySQL is actually a more expensive database. Isn't that interesting? Now let's go Postgres only, and you get a $5 monthly credit. So in theory, this is like possibly the best option. You're doing like $3 or $4 bucks a month for an always-on option. However, this is subject to like I believe, and I could be wrong, so let me give that caveat. I think this is subject to traffic variability, so that like why is the CPU and the RAM going up and down? So I'm thinking that if you get like a bunch of traffic, your CPU and RAM will go up and the projected price will go up. I could be wrong about that. I don't know. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. They also let you tune it like I could just get 100 more megs of RAM for like $1 a month, which is like kind of cool. So I'm a big fan of Railway. I'm a big fan of all three of these companies. For the moment, I'm sticking with supabase, but in the future, like I might not, especially given that they have this new config as code thing. And then Railway is not database only, right? Supabase, PlanetScale, they're database specialists, but Railway will do your whole shebang. Hello, what do you think of Supabase free tier? Great question. It's what I'm using, and it's what I'm going to continue to use, at least for this current project. And I have a paid project that I'm going to be using their pro tier. Because $25 a month, especially given if you know everything Supabase can do with the edge functions, they can do SQL and NoSQL in the same platform, built and off. They just have like really wild stuff. I haven't even scratched the surface of everything they can do. And it has been the tool that I've used that works best with Prisma, which for me is actually my most important. My engineering hours is like more important than any of this minutia, in my opinion. Like if something takes me an extra hour, in my book, that's like $100 or $200. So I like $25 a month versus, you know, technically PlanetScale could be 15 a month if you say, you know, it's 30 and then you divide by 2. Like that $10 savings means like basically nothing to me. Now, when we get to Railway, we're talking about saving $20 a month, which starts to maybe matter, but it really doesn't. It really doesn't. It would need to be like a difference of like $100+ a month to overcome the convenience factor in my book. Just tuned in, is this a DB platform? Yeah, so these were all database platforms. We'll close them out. And now we will return to Welephant. This is what we're actually building, and we're using supabase for the reasons just discussed and some other historical reasons. Basically, I'm not motivated to switch away from them at the moment. Okay. I'm immediately saying this thing is unused, so I can delete that. This is inside the Welephant code base. What's your party app about? That's just it. It's just making wish lists and like getting gifts for each other that you exchange. And like you could get me a gift and you can see my wish list, but I won't know that you're the one getting me the gift. Is it React? Yeah, this is using Blitz.js, which does use React. Okay, so let's drill in immediately to the bug. So the problem here is that I'm seeing these wish list items on this page. So let's go to this page in the code. Next.js, we have this pages folder. And then you can see I just follow the route. So it's wish lists, plural, /2. So here's wish lists, plural, so that's going to be the folder name. And then /2 is actually this page. So that's going to be read as a variable in the code. It's going to be read as the wish list ID. Make sense? Okay, so we come over here. Here's the wish list ID. Looks like the wish list ID is being read correctly. Now, let me do a hard refresh, because immediately when I look at this query, one thing I'm noticing is it doesn't appear to be flushed. So if I go to my wish list first, which I did, and then I switch over to my mom's, it might just not break the cache, basically. So that might be a reason. So let's come over here. I'm going to inspect to open the DevTools. And once DevTools are open, you can right-click empty cache and hard reload. So I'm still seeing my stuff here, which is making me think maybe it's more than caching, because I should have just broken the cache. Now, if I look in my network stack, here's my network stack. I can see get wishlist, preview. Here's the result, and I can see I'm getting the wishlist object on the get wishlist call. But when I get wishlist items, what is my request payload? My get wishlist items request doesn't even seem to say which wishlist. So maybe I'm doing the wrong query. Maybe I need to do get wishlist items by wishlist ID. So maybe get wishlist items is assuming the logged in user. And we can see here is the response preview result values. And these are, unfortunately, my values, which are, you can see wishlist ID 1. So I'm getting these items on the wrong wishlist ID. Oh, so getting like Amazon links and making a list you can send people. Yeah, so yes, but it's not just Amazon. So if it was just Amazon, I could just use the Amazon wish list, right? But this is like for anything, any URLs at all, for any store. But yeah, that's the same idea. Cool. So let's check where this call is being made from. It's going to be the get wishlist items query. I'm pretty sure it's being made from this page. So here's get wishlist. This is get wishlist. It's not get wishlist items, right? So this is doing the right thing. This is doing the right thing. It is busting itself. So the theory about like it could be a caching problem, like no. Here's get wishlist items. This is doing the wrong thing. And we can see I'm just not passing it the wishlist ID. Like that's on me. That's your boy. Your boy done screwed up. 1.5K likes. Thanks. That was pretty quick. And if you're on Twitch or YouTube, feel free to use the chat. I see some people over there, but I'm not seeing anything in the chat. Hopefully that's because it's not being used, not because like there's a problem. Cool. So let's check out this get wishlist items. And what are the input parameters? Here, input, get wishlist items input. Let's check out this type. Gotta love the type. It's an ordinary Prisma where clause. Ordinary Prisma where clause. So how would I specify the ID? I can just pass it an ordinary where clause. Order by, skip, take. Order by, skip, take. And I just didn't use the where clause. So that's, once again, on your boy. So where. Here, I believe this, we could like check the Tab 9 Pro is for free. I don't want it, thanks. I do like Tab 9, I like the free version. Where we're gonna care about the wishlist ID. So let me open up the schema. And here's the wishlist item. That is what I want, right? I'm getting wishlist items. So here's the wishlist item model. That's nice. Do you think the supabase free tier can handle it, or will you go up a tier? The free one can handle it. Again, this is just for my own. I'm only using this for my family for this Christmas. And yeah, I mean, the free tier could accommodate traffic of, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think you could have like 100 monthly active users and the free tier would be fine. I think it's like, it depends on your situation. Like I'm developing this for free as a hobby developer. No one's paying me. It's open source. If I was actually making money on this thing, even if I only had like 20 monthly active users or even 10, I would probably still go for the paid tier just because I don't want to run the risk that my users have a bad experience. When it's my family, I love them to death, but if I'm doing this for free, I'm sorry, you might have a bit of a bad experience and you might have to text me and be like, it's not working, and I'll come like restart the database. So I would never want to do that in a commercial setting, but for like a personal tool, I think it's fine. Cool. So here we're going to do the wishlist ID. And I think I just put it in as a where clause, where wishlist ID is, and then it's wishlist ID is wishlist ID. I already have it in context, named this way. Now, if you're familiar with JavaScript, I can just, colon, wishlist ID equals wishlist ID. I can use a syntactic sugar and just do that. It's the same thing. It's just a shorthand way of saying the same thing. In theory, that should have fixed the whole bug. So let's see what do we expect, and then we will test it. So obviously, this will not fix the bug in prod until I ship it through Vercel. But locally, I'm expecting I can launch a server, and it should work. And my local machine, goofy, but yeah, it's true, is that my local machine is using the same production database. Again, because it's a hobby project is the reason. Cool. So to kick it off locally, we want to blitz.dev. Blitz.dev. You can see when I use blitz.dev, it reads my environment variables and then kicks off a Next.js build in development mode. So it will get hot reloading of code changes, and it's serving it on localhost :3000. Great developer experience right here. So here's my localhost. You can see I'm already logged in. I think it's recycling the cookie from the last time I used localhost. I think that's the reason that I'm logged in. Let's click this. I probably need to change that label. And you can see I have the same data. Why? Because I'm connected to the same production database. Oh, adorable. Say hi. Oh, you're too short. Okay. Is that Daddy in the picture? Yeah.
That is picture.
Okay, cool. See you later. I'll be out there in 10 or 15. So we're getting ready to go to the fall festival and at the church, and they can dress up in costumes. It's kind of like a not Halloween, but Halloween type of deal. Okay, so all I'm expecting is I click my mom's wish list, and it does not have like Conan's axe and stuff. She told me in text, but I forget what it was, what's on there, but it shouldn't say Conan's axe, basically. Items on wish list, none. Ooh. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that. Let me do this. Will be added. Okay. John put this here. Wishlist item 6. John put this here. And this got put onto. Oh, this is just all the wishlist items. This one's associated with wishlist ID 2, which should be my mom's. This is associated with wishlist item 1, and then here's Conan's axe, wishlist item 1. So 1 is like mine and 2 is hers, in case that wasn't already apparent. The navigation is awful. Definitely next stream, I think we'll focus on navigation. Yeah. But for now, I need to manipulate the URL and go to this wishlist page. Mine does not have the new item, and hers does have the new item. So in my opinion, we kind of fixed it, but I'll need to talk with her offline to verify that. There could be an additional thing going on, which is it might only show me ones that I'm authenticated, like I have permission to see. Now, I don't recall like writing any permissions like that. In fact, I want to be able to see other people's stuff, but there could be some like default permissioning stuff going on. Or like my mom could have thought that she put something on the wish list and she might have like it might not have went through, or she might have done it wrong or something like that. Okay, so basically, in my opinion, we fixed the bug that I was seeing. So I'm going to now stop my server process. We're going to go over to source control. Let's verify our changes. In one case, we removed an unused import. That's great. So I'll click the plus to stage that. In the other case, we added the where clause, very simple where clause, so that I'm seeing those wishlist IDs I'm seeing those wishlist items that match the wishlist ID. And now we can see how the mystery makes sense, right? Why did the second wish list show items from the first wish list and not items from the second wish list? The answer is it was just dumping all of the wish list items from any wish list. But the first wish list was the only one that had any associated. So it wasn't actually mixing up the association. It was just not filtering the full table of wishlist items. Does that make sense? And now we're filtering it. So that's how we fixed the bug. You adding testing as you go? No, I'm not. I'm not. Probably should be. I mean, if I was getting paid, I would, but I'm not getting paid. So in terms of when this starts to actually save me time, I would want it to get into a stable state and then add tests. So at that point I would, even for my own hobby projects that I'm maintaining. But like adding tests early in the project for me are a bug prevention practice, not a velocity optimization practice. And because this is not commercial, I don't care about minimizing bugs, actually. I care about maximizing velocity and getting to a usable state ASAP, even if it's super bugged at first, which as we can see, it definitely was. What project is this for? This is for my family. We're having a get together and we want to get each other presents. And we thought it would be cool to build like a cute little app that we could use. So I said, I'll do it. And that's all she wrote. Okay, so let's come down here and we'll write a commit message, really concise one. We're going to do get commit -m. This is going to be fix, conventional commit prefix. We're going to fix wishlist items query and remove extraneous import. I'm going to do a no verify. Oops. I'm going to do a no verify, so I skipped the Husky hooks just because to get it done quicker. This is all like very unsafe practices that you would not use in a commercial world. Or at least you wouldn't, you would use them less in a commercial world. You still might pass no verify in a commercial world because probably at pull request time you have a CI job like Jenkins or something else, or Circle CI or something, Travis, that is going to run tests for you in CI. And so your pull request will never get merged if your tests are failing. So you might just skip them locally just because like you have relatively high confidence, or it takes a long time and you're like, it's gonna run on CI anyway, I don't need to run it twice. Or you have the option to run it locally because maybe you have a long pipeline, you wanna save costs by not running the pipeline, you know. There are situations where you might do either. But on average, you're going to do that more often in a commercial setting. Got some dirt on my screen right there. Cool. That's so sick. Thank you. Hey, thanks for being here. By the way, if you like the stuff, subscribe and like and hang out. If you like hanging out with developers, let's go. We out here. If you're trying to learn to code, come on. I love teaching people to code. Now, we're over in Vercel. Let's go to the Welephant project page for Vercel. This is why developers have a billion tabs open, right? And we can see here is the commit message, fix wishlist items a minute ago from Vanderveer. So that is the same one that I just pushed up to GitHub. And it built successfully. It built pretty quickly. It built in under 2 minutes. Built in 1 minute and 8 seconds. It's green. It was a good build. And it's deployed at this URL. So let's open that up. I'm also going to click into the build details because I want to check. Oh, I can already see production current. So it was pushed up to here and production. Now, basically I have a local prod workflow. A lot of places you're going to want to have a staging workflow. So it should not immediately push to production. It should immediately push to staging, and then you go, looks good, and promote it to production. But this is basically put on auto promote. But if I wanted to, it's a one-click setting so that it would not automatically promote to production. Cool. And then I wanted to check the details to check the assigning domain included prod, but we already figured that out basically. What languages are you using? TypeScript. We're using TypeScript. Okay, so here is the, basically I could go to that like special URL, but I can also just go to prod because like this prod URL that I was previously using because it went to both places. It was deployed to 3 URLs, including these 2. And you can see that John put this here already showed up. And that's a bad thing, right? I want John put this here to be on this page. I don't want the other items to also be on this page. Notice though, I never refreshed the page. So I expect if I just literally refresh the page, Conan's new axe is no longer here. So let's check it out. Isn't that cool? So now it's only the one that we expect. Why was there this weird intermediary state where it had both? That's because apparently the Blitz app in prod was like picking up the code deployment without me refreshing the page, which is just next level. And we see that apparently it can lead to some undesired states. You might think as a developer, like this is like hot module reloading for prod. That's like a fantastic feature. But even fantastic features can have like weird problems they create, right? So I guess it's fairly easy to solve though. You just ask the user to refresh their page, maybe clear their cache. What else is new? Hopefully that's about it. But that could lead to like unintentional data leaks. Yikes. All right, y'all, that's all I got time for today. We fixed a bug. We fixed it super fast. Again, here's Vercel. We can see, if we look in the commit times, we can see one of these should be updated 5 minutes ago. So you can go see the latest and greatest Vanderveer/Welephant. Please hit the follow button, and that'll do it for today. Thanks. Bye.